Hi everyone, and welcome to my YouTube page. My name is Capria. My pronouns are she, her, and I currently reside in Virginia. I wanted to start this page because over the years, I've gotten a lot of questions, comments, individuals who want to just chat or strategize around entering the public policy space, particularly as someone with a social work background. And so I wanted to create these videos to really dive deeper into that. Both sharing my experience and background as well as my thoughts about, how to enter the field, how to be competitive in the job market, what does a day in the life of a policy analyst, project manager, or other roles look like. And so again, I just want to share a little bit about, my experience as someone with a social work degree in the public policy research project management space. And so before I go into kind of my background, just want to also say that these videos, are meant to be, brief, kind of high level overview. I don't know everything and I can't go into depth on everything, but I definitely encourage you, if you have specific topics or areas that you think might be helpful for me to talk about, feel free to drop those in the chat or reach out to me. My contact information will be in the description. And so a little bit about me. I've been in this space, public policy space, for about 7 years now. And I have a bachelor's degree in language literature and Spanish language literature and culture. I definitely encourage those of you who have literature or language or liberal arts degrees to, really elevate or emphasize your skills. They are extremely valuable, really in any field, but I think especially in the public policy field, where we're really talking about communicating information or synthesizing complex, ideas and concepts, and being able to communicate information to the public or other individuals. Those communication skills and other skills, I think, are one of the things that we, tend to build a lot of expertise in our programs, and I think can be extremely valuable in this field. And so I also have a Master's Social Work and Master Public Administration, and that's where I entered the public policy field while doing my master's degree program. Specifically, I did my social work field internship in Medicaid policy in the Bureau of Medicaid Policy at a state Medicaid agency. And in that role, I worked on mostly on legislative research, as well as some research analysis and pulling information from various sources to help make decisions about various policy issues. And so I can talk more in depth about the different, work that I've done in different positions, but, it's just a high level of, how and when I entered the field. Since graduating, I have worked as a legislative analyst. I did that for a few years, working as a political research staff member for the state's legislature, essentially. And so in that role, we conducted a bunch of research studies and did some policy analysis, developed recommendations on how to address, state level systems, policies, agencies, etc., and, improve but government programs. And so it ranged from building a marijuana legalization system to examining whether reforms within the juvenile justice system had been implemented in the allocated time frame, to examining governance structures of boards in various agencies. And so really, again, ranging across the spectrum. That was very much a generalist analyst role. And so we worked on a range of policies and systems level work. I then went on to become a policy analyst, working on child welfare and children's mental health and mental health, and primarily working to redesign a state's children's mental health system. My specific role was really looking at opportunities to improve within the system where there were gaps and inefficiencies, and where, what types of policies, programs, or regulatory, recommendations could address these issues within the state, as well as, where there are opportunities to be innovative and build a more robust prevention focused system. And so really, building out the continuum of services, improving the prevention focused services and supports, and then addressing the inefficiencies or challenges within the state's system. And then last but not least, I'm currently a project manager focused on helping government leaders or human services leaders implement innovations and pilots within their states or counties related to human services, primarily in child care, child welfare prevention, and a little bit around economic mobility, so TANF related programs and similar programs. But essentially supporting states and counties with how do you take these concepts or these strategic plans and create or implement an actual program with them. And then how do we bring in people who are in the community or people who are using these programs to inform design and implementation. And so I do a lot of that. And I really focus on that intersection of research, policy, and practice, which is really where, what I love all three, and I love being able to bring all three together within my current role. And that interest in bringing all three together is also why I decided to pursue my doctorate of public administration, which focuses a lot on, it's an applied doctorate, and it focuses a lot on the application of research to practice. So how do we bridge that gap between scholarship and practice and implementation? So very excited to dig into that and really, build that work around my current role as a project manager. And so that's really all I have to share. I just wanted to give a little bit background on, my expertise, my skill set, and, what I'll be drawing from in my videos. I definitely encourage those of you who are interested in kind of moving into the field, feel free to reach out. I do give, consultations to individuals at no cost. To talk, generally about if you have, thoughts, ideas, or questions about this field or moving into this field. I do offer more in-depth services for cost as a freelancer. And so for individuals who want to dive deep into, for example, creating a strategic plan to move into this role. So, just full transparency, that's essentially how I approach this work. I knew I wanted to move into public policy and be a policy analyst, but I knew the best route to do that would be to create a strategic long-term plan on how do I move from direct service with communities to, working in policy and legislative roles. And so I'm happy to dive into that too as part of my freelance work. And I do offer, I have spoken as a guest lecturer at universities and other places. And so, feel free to reach out to that for that as well, because I'm happy to talk with students and share, again, my perspectives, answer questions, all of that good stuff. But I'm looking forward to sharing more about my background, sharing more about this work, sharing about, how do you pursue and figure out what type of macro social work jobs you like, what type of skills are in demand or, that you should be elevating in your, application materials, all of those types of things. And so I definitely look forward to sharing with you all, and stay on the lookout for my next video.